Welcome to a behind the scenes. In this video I will show you the studio or also my office that we use to produce the cloudonaut videos. So I will show you some features, also how everything looks like like from my perspective. So let's get started. So the first thing is that we have background lights. So I can turn them off and you immediately see that this makes the picture less appealing. So I will turn them on again. And the cool thing is I can also change the color. So we basically switch around colors from time to time. So we have not yet decided on one specific color. So I usually change it before I record a new video. So let's keep it green. So that's the first feature of our studio, which makes it more interesting. The other feature is that I have this little controller here, which is called a Stream Deck. And with this little controller, I can switch between my like this full camera scene versus you can get a little bit of my like my Mac. I can switch to this scene where I'm a little bit bigger, the Mac is a little bit smaller, and we also have the full size Mac where you can only see my screen. So let me switch back to the full screen camera view. So that's what I do with this little device. I can also add things like this and little like animations or corner bug thing. So all kinds of things can be controlled with this device. The thing I learned is that 6 buttons is not enough, so I need a bigger one, and there are bigger ones available. But when I bought it, I was thinking, okay, this is something that is on my desk all the time. I want this to be as small as possible, but turns out that that was not the best idea. Another feature of our studio is that the background is blurred. And that's not using the same technology that you know from online video tools. So this is actually done not by software, but by the camera, by the optics of the camera. So one aspect that is important is that if I move around, it is very important that the automatic focus of the camera very quickly captures that the person moved. So as you can see, the image usually keeps myself in focus. If I move out of the way, it will take a little bit of time until the background becomes the focus. And now you can see basically parts of my bookshelf. One thing, you can see this empty part here on my bookshelf. The story is that I kind of killed a plant. I think I watered it a little bit too much. So it died, and the bad news is that there's no way to get a new one at the moment because all the shops are closed in Germany since December, and ordering a plant online is also not so easy during winter times because it will very likely die while it's delivered. So yeah, I hope I can soon replace this empty spot with something new so that the background again gets a little bit greener, so a little bit nature is added to the image. I hope in a couple of weeks. So your perspective has changed. You are now looking basically from the camera perspective at the studio. I think the one thing that might be most disturbing is the gray background that you can now see. So my office is painted in white and the whole apartment basically is painted in white. Turns out that white background color of wall color is not so good for creating a video. So it is better to have a dark background. And I was basically too lazy to paint the whole room in a dark color. And also I don't like it that much because I sit here for most of my day. So that's why we added this little, I would call it a workaround. So it is big enough so that you, from the usual camera perspective, don't see that it's only a small patch. But it is kind of enough to make a dark background in the video image. So yeah, the other thing that you can see is on the right side, and this is the ring light. So that's basically a cheap way to add light to the video. I mean, there are definitely better lights available, and they definitely are very important. So we kind of underestimated lighting a little bit at the beginning. So that's a way to kind of ensure that we always have the same light temperature, and also we close all the shutters so there is no sunlight in the room, so we can record videos at any time during the day. It always looks exactly the same. we are also kind of independent of weather conditions. The only problem that we have so far is that if it really rains very heavily, you can hear that because it is just loud enough that we record it. So that's a little bit of a problem. So the only condition where we cannot really record the video is during heavy rain. So what else can you see? You can see the big white screen. So this is a screen that I use in split screen mode when I record the video. So on the left side of the screen, I see OBS. So that's the software that we use to capture the signals from the camera using a capture card, also to capture the signal from the Mac display using a capture card. So I can always see the live picture on OBS, and that's even more important if you do streaming. I have on the right kind of part of the screen, I have, for example, if I show you something in the AWS console, then this is on this part of the screen. On my Mac display, I have notes usually, or when we stream, this is where comments are. This is where I have a chat open with someone who watches the comments and does some summaries for me. So this is all on this little screen. The cool thing is that if I look at my Mac, it looks more or less if I was looking straight into the camera. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's good enough. So what else do we have? One surprise is the lightning that comes from behind. So that might be a little bit unusual, but this actually helps to make sure that the head is kind of has a higher contrast and is kind of there's a better differentiation between background and the person. So it is used very often. So if you watch news in television, so just look for this kind of lighting, you will see that always the head is lighted in this way. So it is completely unnatural usually because the light comes from more than one perspective, but this is how it works. It helps to make the image again a little bit more interesting. That's it. Those are all the features of our little studio. I hope you liked the tour. If you have specific questions about what kind of hardware we use, feel free to reach out to us. We're happy to share that with you. So thank you very much for watching. Bye.